These fucking leftists, dude, they're so weird and they won't stop trying to sexualize children. But the more you know and the better prepared you are for these type of fucking weirdo situations. This is one of those things where you should always be aware of what your kids are learning, because more often than not, if they're going to public schools in the modern age, they aren't learning much. They're just being indoctrinated by some sort of fucking creepy ideology. Sex education camps for children offer seminars on questionable adult themes. It's not just merely questionable. And the people who are running these camps and the people who they're trying to convert or indoctrinate, it's weird. It's even weirder than normal. Like normally we're talking about, okay, there's some questionable books with some weird subject materials that just show up in public libraries, and it's like, okay, you get rid of them or whatever, or you're in Loudoun County and weirder shit prevails. But there is nothing on the level about this. An organization that promotes sexual education for children has been holding seminars laden with explicitly controversial themes. Journalist Christopher Rufo, okay, that's the guy who uncovered this, okay? That's not one of the people who are running the organizations, okay? They wouldn't even know what a suit jacket looks like, so. Reported on the organization in March. He told the Epoch Times that the workshop is for children as young as 13. Old enough to be married in some countries, my friend. Having sex on drugs, sex working, self-pleasure, self-managed abortions, what? And other explicit themes are among the seminars offered at the Sexy Sex Ed Girls Workshop in Kentucky. For 13-year-olds. Talking about sex working, self-managed abortions. Wow, what is that? Taking a crazy carpet down the stairs? And having sex on drugs. What? No, if you're having sex at 13, it's normally because you've been given drugs. So, One description states, this workshop will include discussions, games, and some practice. Sorry, what? And some hands-on practice. Hands-on! The sexy summer camp schedule began in July 2021 and ended in August. Were they going to be trying to open up again for the 2022 season? According to their website, the organization started in 2012. Yeah, we got it pulled up here, and as you can see, just a group of unfuckable heifers that they have here on their top line. All ages, all bodies, sexy sex ed. We all deserve to understand our bodies and desires. Let's see how many child references are made on here. Sexy sex ed is a workshop that compels teenagers, and people of all ages. You will see a group of people in the pictures below. Unfortunately, I had to do a little bit of research on this, mostly to just make sure that I wasn't going to be, hit with any sort of fucking pornographic content. But thankfully, that's not the case. It's just your regular run-of-the-mill degeneracy. And people of all ages to openly discuss personal and political consent. What's political consent, by the way? Like, I'm sure that's something that a 14-year-old wants to know before they get molested. The one doing it's a Democrat, but we all know that's always the case. Sexual safety and anatomy. Okay, that's fine, but again, it's just over the entire modus operandi of this entire camp. You can get sexual safety and anatomy elsewhere. It should also be like age specific and age appropriate. This doesn't seem to be doing it, Chief. Using visual and performance art. If it's done by any of these buckets of lard with two legs, I don't want to see it. Never. Open dialogue and popular education methods. The popular sexual education methods for teenagers. Okay. Sexy sex ed fills a vital gap. No, I don't want you talking about filling any gap for underage kids in reproductive education as a creative cultural healing solution in rural Appalachia. Yeah, there's drunk uncles that'll do that. You can find sexy sex ed in Yes Magazine, 100 Days in Appalachia, on Means TV, whatever that means. New Now Next, the Strong Feelings podcast, and of course, CNN. But you could watch one of their promotional videos, which they've taken down from YouTube. But what are they actually concerned about? Well, of course, you need to be safe. You need to protect yourself from the coof, obviously. But what we do, popular education workshops with over a dozen sex educators across 5 Appalachian states. We've held dozens of workshops in your assholes, with classrooms, art spaces, churches, parks, and community centers. Using art-based activities, we discuss personal and political consent. Again, I would just like some information, okay? I'd like some information. What the fuck is political consent? I don't get it. Sexual safety and anatomy. Book a workshop today at sexysexed.org. I can't. It's all been taken down. Sex ed event booths. Ugh. We meet people where they are. Bars, concerts, block parties, parades, festivals, and community gatherings of all kinds. As our team is able, we'll come to your event and set up a booth with free condoms, emergency contraceptives, a lot of coat hangers, HIV tests. Yes, we'll set out Gary Glitter and Boy George albums, and if you can name any of them by album art, you're HIV positive. And advance advice via direct conversation or anonymous question boxes. And if you're HIV positive, you wouldn't have any idea what to do with a box. Sexual health map. Oh, in 2020, Sexy Sex Ed launched an interactive way to find the sexual healthcare resources and reproductive justice work happening in Appalachia. While a region is often sparse on similar national maps, you can find over 100 resources in Appalachia and add your favorites to grow the network. No thanks. But this is what they're doing, which seems very important. Oh, there's one cuck over there in the corner who's just staring and oh my god, what the fuck is that? Talking about the 2 lumps on her chest. But again, all they're doing is just drawing what I can assume is ovaries, but at the same time, there's kids there. Underage kids that they're doing all of this shit to. Like, none of those girls are of age, okay? I don't care how old they are. And then of course you gotta have your fucking postmodernism fucking nonsense as well. And there's not enough gas in the world for these fuckers, but that's what they're all about. In a video, which is no longer accessible, that was posted to the website, its founder, Tanya Turner, criticizes current sex education that promotes abstinence as a failure. No, abstinence works, okay? It's just a lack of abstinence that doesn't. The data shows that abstinence-only education isn't working. Oh, okay. She said in her Appalachia region of Kentucky, there is a higher unplanned pregnancy rate than the national average, which she attributes to strict abortion laws. Right, okay, because that's normally what happens. You only teach about abstinence, and it's like you won't get pregnant if you don't fuck, simple as. But if you do, okay, everybody knows about condoms. This isn't the fucking 1940s, okay? Or there's the pill, which has a lot of unintended consequences as well. There's many other methods that you can use prior to having to get the old scrape a couple months down the road, okay? And what are those strict abortion laws that are on the books in Kentucky, even back in 2020? Care to point to any of those? As part of her sexual education, she states, masturbation is really healthy. I disagree. And I recommend it to people of all ages. No! What is no? Recommend? No! It'll make you go blind and it'll grow hair on your palms. Don't do it. All ages, as soon as my nephews could talk, they were doing that. Wow, you are a fucking creep. Thank God you don't have your own kids. And of course, these people never do, because nobody wants to actually fuck them. That's what they got to obsess about, masturbation. Donations to the organizations are facilitated by Act Blue. Who's shocked? A progressive nonprofit online fundraising software and political action committee. That's what they mean by a political consent. Okay, you got to be a progressive because nobody else would be stupid enough to buy into any of this. According to its website, the organization was founded by has dozens of educators in 5 states and is supported by the Appalachia Committee or Community Fund and the Kentucky Health Justice Network, 2 organizations self-described as social and reproductive justice outreach groups. But again, if this is also funded and supported by progressive groups, these people don't fuck and these people don't create kids. They have conservatives do that for them, and then they're dumb enough to just send their kids to be indoctrinated by these progressives. Learn to break the cycle, folks. On March 8th, Rufo reported a screenshot of the organization's website that showed the page had been deleted. Yeah, that's what we have up here. There's no video on it or anything like that. Can't click on it. It's all fucking gone. It's dead. It's dead, John. It's dead. Screenshot shares of such biographies of the volunteers can no longer be found on the website. Yeah, it's literally just this page. Okay, we got volunteer. Oh, you can donate money, you can donate supplies, you can fundraise, you can follow and share, you can pitch and press, you can host an event, you can reach out if you DM on Twitter and Instagram. Cool. Of course these people live on history and on Twitter and Instagram. What about press? Cool. I would rather not. Okay, I'm glad I went back to this page for a second because these are two graphics that are at the bottom of their history page or something like that. Something like that. Whatever, it really doesn't much matter what other pictures that they have there. But they have a picture of, I would assume the one on the left is a condom, okay? But it also has either socks that come up to where the ass meat is, theoretically in that cartoon picture there. Or those are hairy legs leading up to a butt. If you're marketing your condoms towards the gays, why are you so worried about abortion? You can't get pregnant from the butt. And then, of course, because this is designed for all ages, you have a promotion of the fucking magic wand. Should be shot. Or you should use the magic wand in your bathtub. How about that? Oh, but I'm glad Christopher Rufo has all of the receipts on this one. The founder of Sexy Summer Camp, Tanya Turner, identifies as a witch. Okay. She says that she was raised by a host of witchy women in a coven-like mountain matriarchy. She's very stable. She uses tarot cards, crystals, and sex toys as part of her practice and encourages people to join her coven. No, I would prefer that you would just hop in an oven. The website described her as a femme, fat, queer, magical pleasure worker, educator, and artist who was raised in rural Kentucky. I know that I'm usually for like due process and the justice system, and I think that generally the courts work on a routine basis, but every once in a while you just see somebody whose description just fits a charge for needs killing. I don't know if that hits you guys the same way, but that's immediately what comes to mind. A similar sexual education group in Indiana called Let's Talk About Sex Ed with Ms. Ashley. I'm sure Ms. Ashley is just as unfuckable as Tanya Turner. Was reported on by Tony Kinnett, co-founder, the executive director of the Chalkboard Review, an education commentary organization that examines issues of intellectual diversity. The group, founded by Ashley Robertson. Where does there's the Miss Ashley. Okay. Scheduled a June sex ed summer camp for grades 3rd through 5th in Indianapolis. Her classes are described as non-binary, sex-positive, body-affirming, inclusive, and are based on the principle that people make informed choices with their own body based on their own values given science-based information. Why did we ever give women the right to vote? Or leave the house? And let's talk about Sex Ed's Facebook page. Robertson describes herself, oh god, as trained by the Our Whole Lives program, a Unitarian Universalist Association sexual education initiative for children. I die a little inside every time that I see sexual education and children in the same sentence, other than no children should ever be subjected to sexual education by leftist weirdos. Just gonna throw that out there. According to UUA's website, OWL, which is offered to kindergarten to adults, but it's focused, this one workshop is focused specifically on 3rd and 5th graders. 3rd through 5th graders can't you know it, ignore the 4th graders as well. Is a comprehensive lifespan sexual education curricula for use in both secular settings and faith communities. Kinnett reported that the sex education summer camp is $250 per ticket and will involve condom demonstrations as well as examine transgender and kink topics. If you sign your kids up for this, I feel like chemical castration should be an appropriate receipt of your purchase. Many schools nationwide, sexual reading material and curriculum are surfacing alongside math, science, and education. Some places they're just overtaking them in what they're teaching in these fucking indoctrination camps that have sparked outrage in parents who have demanded that the themes in the material exceed inappropriateness. 3rd grade Third grade can see kids as young as 7 and 8 years old. Yeah, sexualization at these ages shouldn't be normalized, much less accepted in any form. Yep, exactly. But these are also two camps, okay? These are two camps that are completely voluntary. Now, if they get brought in by a school system for specific speaking engagements, that's totally besides the point and runs contrary to anything that we've seen so far. But you should be doing your due diligence when it comes to what your kids go out and experience. Is that one way we can put this? But just know that these creeps are lurking behind every fucking corner. And it's unfortunate that people have to deal with this, you know, just trying to raise a family, just trying to live a good life. But you can't take a day off because these creeps won't fucking let you. But with all of that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. Let's follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.